starting the project, the initial status. Great. Now we added WBS under the project. So this is going to be, since it is going to be first WBS directly under the project is going to be level one project, level one WBS. So we define a project type for the level one WBS, which is same as going to be your first two digits of your project, which is B1. As per the requirement from EZ, we don't want to settle the level one WBS project. We want to start the settlement or the procurement or the service procurement, any type of procurement or any type of settlement only at level two. So level two, we have to assign mandatorily the cost centers. Who is the responsible cost center for this project and who is the requesting for cost center for this project? We have to mandatorily assign, we have to mandatorily define during project creation. Again, we define
ಈಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಬ್ರು
the
ಸತ್ತೋದ್ಲಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗವ್ರಂತ ಮನೇಲೆಲ್ಲ
project
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗವ್ರಂತೆ
type.
ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಏನೋ ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ವೇನೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ತೋಗಳೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಆಚೆ ಕಡೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಯ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ವಂತೆ ಬರೀ ದುಡ್ಡು 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 ಸೈಟುಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊ ಸಾಯ್ತಿದ್ನಂತೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ
We
ನೆಮ್ಮದಿಯಾಗಿಲ್ಲ
define the profit
ಅವನ ಕಡೆ
center.
ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಲಿಲ್ವಂತೆ ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸತ್ತೋಗಳೆ
And since this level, at this level, we're gonna do the entire execution of the project, be it procurement or the settlement.
ಹಲೋ ಬ್ರೋ
It is mandatory to define a
ಹಲೋ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ
investment profile. Investment profile will control the settlement. How we gonna settle the project or what AUC or what fixed asset are allowed to be settled by this project.
ಹಾಗೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅಯ್ಯ ಅದು ನೋಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ಮಾವ ಅದು ಆಂಟಿ ದೊಡ್ಡಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಮ್ಮ ಮೊನ್ನೆ
Yes,
ಅವ್ರ
sir,
ಹತ್ರ
Sanjeev,
ಜನ
you have a
ತಿಂದಿಲ್ವಂತೆ
question?
ಅವ್ರೆ.
Yeah, just want to ask, will this WBS, the inputting of this data, will be done when the project already awarded, or even if
Yes. Only after
how
the
about the
project.
procurement process? I mean to say, should we input this prior to the procurement, or
One second.
if the project already awarded?
1 second.
Did you get the question, or I mean these are
1 second.
details?
1 second. Wait. 1 second.
Yes, sir. Probably I missed that step. The business case is approved outside SAP in one app.
Yeah, what happened?
Once the business case is approved, then only you start
Already
setting up a project in PS.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
question.
Yeah, Japan.
Nadine. When you do that, kasi diba your business case, are you using also one app for the approval, or you're just rounding in hard copy?
One app. We're using one
One
app also.
Okay,
Yes.
so we
po.
have the same process as easy. Okay, clear. It's the same, yeah.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ
After you get the approval, then that's the time that you will fill up this.
Okay.
Only to confirm.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sino bang nauna? Si Bernard. Tapos may nakatanong sa kanila.
ha.
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Would like just to clarify the business case approval. Right now for our OG1, we are routing the business case form in DocuSign.
DocuSign.
for approval.
ఓకే ఓకే మళ్ళీ
Before we have in 2021 we have actually ventured to use the one up process business case approval,
ఇంకేమైనా
but
ఉన్నాయా
we have some
Doubts?
challenges on the use of the system due to the
ఓకేనా?
low
ఇంకేం డౌట్స్
utilization
ఉన్నాయా
and also
మీకేమైనా
the
డౌట్స్ ఉన్నాయా
the cost of the license that we need to
Yeah, cost
to
efficiency measures that
Yeah, yeah.
you went DocuSign instead of one
Uh,
app.
అచ్చా, అది
yeah,
ఒక్క
yes,
నిమిషం
yes, ma'am.
ఉండండి,
That's
అది
why
ఇస్తాను.
we
మళ్ళీ
discontinued
ఇంకా
the
వేరే
one app
వాడు
because of the
వాడు
low
చెప్పింది వేరేది
utilization,
ఏమైనా ఉందా
and
మీకు
we
డౌట్స్
cannot
ఏమైనా ఉన్నాయా
use it effectively, and also has a year annual cost renewal. So, but right now, since after DocuSign was implemented, we
చెక్
already
చేయండి,
adapted that.
నేను త్వరగా ఇది పంపిస్తాను ఒక ఇంట్రొడక్షన్
Thank you.
మళ్ళీ
So
వాళ్ళు
yeah, I think I need to correct. I stand corrected.
So, ఏం
The what I'm
చెప్తారంటే
saying
నేను
when
చెప్తాను
that we are doing in one app when the business case already
దాన్ని మీరు నీట్ గా
approved.
చూసుకోండి
So
అయితే
the
కొంచెం
project
చెప్తా ఉంటాను
management
ఇంట్లోను.
team will input
కొంచెం
all
మీరు
the
ఒకసారి చూసుకుంటే
all
అది
the
ఏంటంటే టెస్టింగ్ ఇది మనం HPLM
pre-documents.
టెస్టింగ్
No? We
టూల్
call it the TOR.
నాకు తెలియదు
All those
దాంట్లో
I mean,
I have written
the business case, signed business case,
scenarios
we
and
will
I've got
going
the
to
approval from the
input
business
in one
and also
app.
from internal
And
team
that
and then
will be the
I
basis
use it
of
for
the
testing
procurement
different
for them
change
to bid
request,
it out.
change request scenarios.
So that process
So I'm
is
ready
not
to
covered
write the test case.
in
I'm ready
this
to test end-to-end scenarios
in this
for
topic,
all
right?
the complex end-to-end scenarios. అలా చెప్పండి. I have tested complete scenario for P2P.
So
మళ్ళీ all
you don't
subcontracting scenarios.
build the business
మళ్ళీ
case after it is
end-to-end
approved.
అవన్నీ చెప్పాలి.
Usually
మళ్ళీ
the process is
account
that
determination,
upon
pricing,
approval you
అవన్నీ
create
I've written
the
the test
project,
cases and I have
you
tested
build
it
the
and
project
got
here
the
sa
approved
SAP.
with respect
Yun
to
yung
test
to
cases
be
and then
process.
completed
So
testing,
may
getting
tanong,
approved from the test case. I have
how
uploaded
do you
the
ano,
closing
how
screenshot
do
of
you
it into the
yung
test
one up lang
lab.
ba yung basis
అని
ninyo
చెప్పాలి.
to
అవన్నీ నేను ఒకసారి
procure?
introduction mali
Wala na,
చెప్తాను.
hindi nyo na siya, hindi na kayo,
ఒకసారి మీరు
paano yung SAP, ano nun, integration?
అదొకటి అంతే. ఇంకేమైనా
Nag-SAP
ఉన్నాయా?
kayo, sa JO na lang. Sino nga nag-ano natin?
Bet,
Sa
Bet,
finance side.
Yes.
Dennis to.
మొన్నది ఏమైంది ప్రవళిక అవలేదా?
The process is yung as soon
బాగానే అయింది
as
కదా అది మొన్న.
the proponent creates a PR, it will be automatically forwarded to procurement.
So, ang nakikita mo na lang, Dennis, is the PR, no? Parang yun yung part ng
PR,
report.
yes.
Okay. Who does the PRJ tsaka Bernard sa inyo? Kasi after your approval, that's the time that PR is generated. Supposedly.
ఏంటంటే
So, who does that?
చెప్పలేదంటే
Um,
నేను నేను నా
as far as I can remember, ma'am,
టైం పడితే
some
వాళ్ళు blank
DUs,
అయిపోతారు.
the PR is being created by the project managers, and some are being created by the finance. If I can remember, mama, may ganung interface from different BUs.
ప్రవళిక లేట్
So, it depends on the BU. And our
1 2
finance team,
డౌట్ వస్తుంది మళ్ళీ షీ ఇస్ నాట్
is that correct?
కాన్ఫిడెంట్ అని చేస్తుంది.
Ma'am,
When you tell the
from
answers very
core quarter.
quickly and very
Sa
confidently,
core quarter,
they don't
ma'am,
bother
si
that
proponent po ang
whether
gumagawa
you're,
ng PR
seeing and looking
after
or whether
approval
you're
ng budget.
because అది అవ్వదు ఎవరికైనా
Okay.
అవ్వదు ఎందుకంటే so when you are able to if anybody
The
prompting
direction is
you and you're able to tell in
Okay,
the
go ahead,
earphone
sir.
they we cannot do it
Hello,
that
ma'am, sa
speed.
Pangasinan,
So
kami sa
నేను
finance
దానికోసమే
gumagawa ng PR since yung proponent namin wala silang access sa SAP due to cost constraint din kaya hindi namin sila nabigyan ng
ఏంటంటే
access.
ఇప్పుడు ఇది కొత్తది
Okay,
కదా
clear.
ఇప్పుడు మీరు
So, it really
దీనికి sync
depends
అవ్వాలి.
on the BU,
సో అది
depending
ఒక్కొక్కసారి అవుతుంది
on the
ఏమి మనకు
structure.
నేను దానికే కదా మీకు ఇంతే
That
సార్
there are some that they discuss under the proponent, there are some that discuss under finance. But it seems like after the approval, actually, they go directly PR creation. They don't do.
ఒక ఇయర్ ఫోన్ నే రెండు
You don't
రెండు
do it.
పెట్టుకుంటే ఒక ఇయర్ ఫోన్ లోనే వినాలి.
So this is
పక్కన
the
earphone
change.
పక్కన ఊరికే
This is
పెట్టాలి
the change. Yes, Miss
ఎందుకంటే
Divine.
మీకు వాళ్ళు ఏం చెప్పేది మీకు
Hello,
వినిపించాలి.
good afternoon.
So
Yes, it
చేద్దాం
seems that
ప్రాబ్లం
there's
లేదు
a difference, no? BU to BU, BU
Yes,
from BU
yes.
rather. But
చాలా
in the
ఇంపార్టెంట్.
case of the SAP implementation, can we standardize in such a way
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we do not I mean, at this time, we just
okay.
ignore the
చేద్దాం.
headcount constraint or the cost constraint. Whatever is the standard, let's include that in the emblem.
Yes, ma'am, we can do that po.
Mhm.
Actually,
Okay.
that's the reason why kaya
Okay,
natin
okay.
to.
చేద్దాం.
Because
No,
this
yes.
is
Ah,
the
yes.
new standard,
Okay.
technically, given that we need to do this.
Hello.
The question
Oh,
would
Aditya.
be, there is
Voter
a
ఉన్నాయా మీతో?
counterpart
Voter login
in its
ఉందా?
own role that does this. So, ibig sabihin nun, that
అది కొంచెం
role
30
should
minutes వరకు
should have an
ఉండేది.
equivalent person or role in NEC.
Premium.
Pwede kasi by in terms of the process, no, parang ganito yung ginawa namin
తీసుకోండి.
sa
మీరే కదా సర్వీస్ ఇస్తా
EM
ఉండేది.
before eh. Minsan,
అన్ని
three
domain లో
per people,
చేయాలంటే కావాలి కదా.
ganito, three roles in EC is equivalent, let's say, to one role only
Yes,
to
that is-
NEC. That's possible. That mean also that the access of these three people in EC would be the access
Okay,
for
okay.
one person, all their access to one person to NEC. That's the magiging new reality or new standard for NEC. So that's why it is important that we understand that this process before what you're doing is that after one app, it's either your proponent or the finance do the PR creation. Now there's an extra step, and this is the step that Angeli is doing right now and showing you. As to who will do it moving forward, maybe we can park it because it requires us to revisit the structure. Is that okay, guys? Medyo i-ano lang natin so we can continue.
చూడమ్మా.
Is that okay? Clear po ba so
Yep,
far?
yep.
Yes,
Philippines.
clear. Agree. Thank
Yes,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. So for now, lalabas, this is magiging, ito yung bago. So we are able to identify exactly what's new to your process. So this one that Anjali is saying, this is new, Anjali. So be more, explain it further because this is something new. So maybe you can expound in some items as to the benefit and what is the value of what we're doing in this new process. Okay, let's continue. Thank you. So we will have this in the SDB updating, right, Anjali? Wherein how we do the WBS element that we're saying wherein the project code is the first two characters and then to be followed by etc. etc. Those will be updated. So there's a guide technically for the team to use on how they will input the items here, right? So, clear yun guys ha? So, may guide naman tayo kasi kanina yung tinatanong, ano ulit yung isang character? But that's a valid question. So, please, please clarify if there's something that you don't understand. Okay?
So this is how you structure your project using different level of WBA. And if you want to add more WBAs to the same structures, you can keep adding them like this.
ಠಾಣೆಗೆ ಬಾಡ್ಗೋ ಲೇ ಲೀಜ್ ಹೋಯ್ತೀನಿ ಕಣ ಲೇ ನಿನ್ ನೆನೆಸ್ತೀನಿ ಅಳ್ಕಟ್ತೀನಿ ಲೀಜ್ಗೆ ಹಾಕತ್ತೀನಿ ಕೂರ್ಸ್ತೀನಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ₹1 ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಕೊಟ್ಟದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಂಗ ಟೈಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಸೀರೆ ಜಮ್ನೆ ಸೀರೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ಈಗ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಗಿ ಕಟ್ಟು EMI ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟು 4 ಮನೆ ತಿಕ್ಕೋ ಕಟ್ಟು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ದೇನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವ
How do we schedule this project? How do we add dates to the project? We have a tab for dates. Like this.
Can you go back actually? Though in the sheet of basic data, which items will be filled up by the team and which items are automatically reflected?
So we select the project types here.
Because you type in, where do you type in the project type? Here in the project type, you will click this one and then
you select the project type here and you select the responsible cost center and the requested cost center. These are the two fields which need to be populated.
then automatically the WBS element will be generated. Okay, so yung tanong kanina, yung sa WBS element, that will be automatically created by the system. But the one that you will fill up is the one dun sa basic data. Okay.
System status will be created because we are still planning the project. So by default, the system will pick up the status as created. Then we have to fill the investment profile only and only if we want to settle that particular WBS element. If we don't want to settle that WBS element, we don't fill the investment profile. Similarly, we fill the profit center if we are posting some course on that project. If we are not posting any course on that WBS element, then we can use the profit center plan. Like in this case, it's level 2. I will be posting some codes. So I have filled in the profit center. I will be settling this project to this WBS to AUC. So I have filled in the investment profile. I have filled in the responsible cost center. I have filled in the requesting cost center. And I have also selected the project type, which has to be same as your WBS element. First two digits. Similarly, when I'm creating a new WBS, I have to fill in all the information, just like this. Now, how do we plan how do we schedule a project? So when we start a project, we have to fill in the start and end date of the project. It's a top-down scheduling. That's what we selected at the top level, top-down scenario. So we enter the dates at the top level, and it will go down to the lower level. Similarly, at the WBS level, we select the start date and the duration, or we select the start date and the finish date. Duration will be auto-calculated. Or we select the start date and fill in the duration. The finish date will be auto-selected. Here I have started with start date and the duration is 200 days. So the finish date has been auto-calculated. Similarly, if I'm going to enter the dates for this project, so another WBS level, and say 60 days, it will auto calculate the finish date. I will click on save. I start my next WBS somewhere next month. And then the duration is 50 days. It will auto calculate the finish date. This is how we schedule the project in PS. Unlike in Excel. Any questions on scheduling?
For Jay, Sir Bernard.
Good so far. Yeah. Please proceed.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Same. Thank you.
So we do the same in Excel as well, right?
Okay.
So this is the working ground structure. Now we further break it down to the network where we do the procurement. For a procurement related activities, be it a material procurement or a direct procurement or a service procurement, we have to add the networks. So at level 2, I'm going to create a network. Which you see from the project profile, but we have selected at the project level, all this information are auto-populated. We don't have to add any information over there because all this information has been configured along with the project profile. Under the network, we add our procurement requirements. So first we create a internal activity for your material procurements.
ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು.
And under the internal activity, we can add the materials as a component. So I'm selecting a material.
They need to give each material that they will be using, right?
Yes, they need to be there in the system.
Yeah.
So all the materials you're using as of now, we have to provide them the system. We have to create them in the system.
Andy,
So here we are using a CATM category N when you want to create a
అదే చెప్పండి
reservation.
వాళ్ళకి. I am
We
pinging,
want
I'm
to
just
create
checking
a
the open
reservation
roles
for a
and I'm pinging
material
multiple
against a
people. I'm
project.
approaching for
We
the
have to
open role,
provide the item category
but
N.
I'm not able to find out. I'm
And then
not
we
able to get the
mention the
qualification.
requirement. Let's say
I will start applying
10 kgs.
actively in Job Gateways.
Yes, Sir
And
Bernard, you have question. Yeah, go ahead.
I think
Say for
this
example,
month
the material is
like
not yet
we'll have multiple calls. Something like that.
created. Is there another process to request for that code for that specific material?
Think చేశాను చూసారా?
There should be master data
For the
creation.
master data. Okay. There's thank you.
If it is something new, for example, Penny is here for handling S2P. If a material that they're requesting is something new, we never purchase it, so it's not in the system. So it should be created as another additional master data.
Yes.
There should be a person or a group assigned to do that master data.
There is a master data governance. If I'm not mistaken, it's under team, Miss Valerie team.
It's a centralized. This is Jing. So it's a centralized request to SEMG because the material master is cuts across the BUs.
Does that answer your question, Bernard?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So if ever nawala, there is a way, there is a process. But that process we need to establish because sa ngayon kasi it also follows that when we do S4HANA, we also need to establish the process and the people who will manage those processes, including the master data grouper. Okay.
So we enter the requirement quantity and we click on save. Similarly, the internal processing activity we have for the material, we can add the external activities.
I think we also need to ask if ever the material is, let's say the stock is not sufficient. So what will happen?
It's not sufficient.
Based on the creation, because we're creating, right? It's just creation now. But what if they created it, it doesn't necessarily mean, does it say already if there's available stock or not? Here from the creation that we're doing. There's no visibility yet.
When you create a project stock, right? When you create a project and if there is no stock available in the system, so how is it going?
It isn't checked at this point in time.
It is not checked here
At this
yet.
point in time.
At this point in time. Okay.
Is it the material availability check?
Material availability check.
Where does that happen?
So
Because remember earlier you put in a material and then there's a quantity required. What does it check already if it is available or not? Because we click the one that is a stock item. So will we be able to have that visibility if there's enough stock for our requirement or not at this point?
from the project, is there any check?
For a project leader.
I will get that to you, Mr.
Wait. My question here for non-East is how are you buying materials? Or is it centralized planning or it's an on-demand buying? Because it will answer the availability question.
ಅದೇ ಸಿಗ್ನಾಕ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ತಾನೆ ಅದು
So tanong ko lang how are you buying the materials? So some majority ba is inventory or some are direct expense. So it will matter on how are you buying it, on how will it be encoded in the system.
For MWIS, it's on-demand buying.
On demand.
So on demand and inventory, ma'am, o on demand direct expense.
On-demand direct expense. Miss Jing.
Okay. So that's one scenario. Clark, Laguna. I think the Laguna and Estate Water are big. Laguna, how are you buying things?
Hi, good afternoon. Same on demand but in inventory.
Okay.
We tag on it as inventory.
So it's similar to Manila Water. So SEMG picks up the business case and plan accordingly based on demand and based on the upfront requirement. So they buy accordingly. So it depends on the availability. So are you going to put all of the inventory first and then just withdraw it afterwards, or we're going to standardize it that way, or are we also be accommodating direct expense? We're going to buy it directly and then once it's GR, it's automatically expense out. So I think that's the question that you have to answer. Also, standardization as well. So we're going to house inventory and then we'll pick it up on the reservation, or given that you don't have a warehouse capacity, maybe it's a decision at the point in time of the business case. So, Ms. Divine, Ms. Shah, your call. But either way, the system can be processed accordingly, can be used accordingly.
So that's something that we need to decide on, Jake, right? Will it affect this export in terms of how we do this?
Actually, it's not.
really.
It will, ma'am, because if Manila Water is treating 15 mm as an inventory, and then non-East is treating it as non-inventory, so that will skew our master data. So
Yeah.
we'll have to
So that
decide
alignment should
accordingly.
be
Yes.
Yes, Dennis, you were raising your hand.
Yes, to add, for big BUs like Laguna Water, no, there are some items that are being requested for inventory purposes. Let's say we have these critical items that will be purchased for inventory purposes. Pero there are also items na being procured on demand. That's the current yung practice. So, and I can say na isang big BUs.
So it can technically, well, Sir Dennis, you're handling both basically inventory items and then expense out.
Yes, I'm buying both.
Both meanings you purchase the inventory items and you direct charge to the project, is it? And the other one, you purchase the inventory and you keep it as a stock.
Yes, yes.
Which ones do you refer?
I think Curtis here of Laguna Water is present in the meeting. Curtis is our Laguna Water warehouse personnel. Tama ba, Curtis?
Yes, boss. Yes, sir. As said, Sir Dennis, is we buy as a stock, and probably we buy as a demand based on our projection.
So meanings you purchase a stock as a demand from the project, is it?
Yes.
Or actually you purchase the items and there is no demand, you just purchase and then you keep it as stock. So at the end, if any projects require this item, then you just do the goods issue directly to the project. So which one's the right scenario do you have currently?
Laguna
It's
Water
come as
practice both, no? They
Oh,
request
both you
items
have.
for
Okay.
inventory and they also request items for actual expense on demand.
Okay, I get it. So let's say if you want to purchase based on the demand from the PS. So actually from the PS itself, they can generate the PR and it will direct charge to the project. But if you want to purchase and you want to keep it as stock in your warehouse, then you can create a manual PR. Then you don't need to assign to any projects. In case in future, if you want to use it for a project, then you can do the goods
ಯಾಕೆ
issue to the
ಅಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ
project.
ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 500,000 ಉದ್ಯೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯಪ್ಪ?
Is it clear?
Yes, clearly, that's the practice.
So again, either way, the system is capable, but again, the standardization, are we going to allow it or not? That's on the table.
It's something, James, that we will discuss with Miss Val and Joe.
I think it's Mom Divine on. I'm not sure if finance will throw in their weight. If we're going to standardize that all water meters will be inventoried and all expense will be recognized at the point in time of consumption. So maybe at that discussion, at that level
Fine.
of
We'll set
discussion.
a special session for that with you po.
Okay, sige.
Okay.
I thought gonna
Separate
answer na.
discussion na lang po natin. Opo.
Sige, sure. All right.
Okay.
For an external procurement, because like a direct procurement, we can have an external activity. Like some excavation work, we can have some external activity here as well. We need to provide some information while we are creating external activity like cost element, like price, purchase or purchase group, material group. All this information need to be provided on the external activity level. So when you are creating external activity, you have to provide the information like purchasing or
Miss
purchasing
Chanda is
group.
raising her hand. Yes, Miss Chanda.
I would like to know what's the difference of the internal and external tab.
So when you are creating an external activity, it will generate a direct PR for you. However, internal activity, you add a material component under it and it will generate a reservation for the stock for the project. For a direct procurement, you use the external activity. For your reservations, you use the internal activity.
If it's parang owner supplied, ma'am, yung isa, then yung the other one is direct purchase from the vendor.
That's for external po.
Yes. Yes.
I see. Okay, noted.
I click on save again. So this is how you plan your project. You create a project, you add some dates to it, you break it down into the work breakdown structure, you add some dates to work breakdown structure as well. For your procurement, you add a network. Under network, for your reservations, you create an internal activity. For a direct procurement, you create external activity. So when you release a project, it will automatically generate the reservation, it will automatically generate the purchase requisition. Now we have planned the project. Based on this project, we're gonna replace the budget, which is gonna be out of SAP or out of a product system activity. and that budget will be assigned by the project financial controller to the project. To assign the budget, project financial controller is going to use a different application, added original budget, and it will automatically populate the project definition we were editing. And we can assign the budget at different levels. So there are two types of budget we can assign over here. One is overall, for the overall project, what we see, or we can split it into annual budgets as well. For each and every year, we can execute a project. If it is a multi-year project, so we can split the budget into annual budget as well. So I'm going to assign some budget to this project. Similarly, I'm going to assign some annual budget as well. So we assign the budget only at the WBS level, and from this budget at the WBS level, network for the procurement activities are going to consume the budget from this. As if now have kept the same budget as an overall or the annual budget. Otherwise, in a real time, you assign the annual budget and the overall budget will be sum up of all the annual budgets. In case your procurement active during the execution of the project, you are doing the procurement and you need some more materials, you need some more services, and your budget has already consumed in your past material, past services, you can always request for the supplement budget. When you request for the supplement budget, the approval process will be using the OneApp app, where you can request the supplement budget and it will be approved. And once it is approved, then you can assign the supplement budget using the similar applications, similar theory apps. Going back to my